Hey everyone, Spicy Toast here, taking our first impression for Elise. So the new patch just dropped. Elise came out. We immediately got her, upgraded her up to 2 stars. So let's take a look at her powers, her level up, starting deck, what relics we think are going to be good. If you're enjoying all this Path of Champions content, definitely like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 10k subscribers by the end of the year. We have a long way to go. So any help is greatly appreciated, and let's get into it. So for the star powers, your first star power when allies attack, grant allied spiderlings, so these little spiderlings, everywhere 1 power. So this is essentially going to work like a modified and somewhat improved lurk mechanic, where every time you're attacking, you're buffing up your spiderlings, but only your spiderlings. But you can activate this more than once a round. So rallies, scouts, those all are going to be very, very strong. For your 2-star, caught in the webs, +1 starting mana round end. If an ally died this round, summon another spiderling. For the 3rd star power, when allies attack, grant allied spiderlings everywhere 1 power and the positive keywords of allied champions. So this is going to be very, very good. We'll touch on this a bit more in the relics, but there's going to be some awesome ways we can play around this. I like how it's a 3rd star power that isn't like crazy broken and just giving you a massive amount of power. It's something you really are going to need to play around, but can give you a really fun edge if you actually play around that mechanic. So starting deck, this will be really interesting. So we have the Shadow Isles Tellstones. I think this is the first time we've gotten Tellstones in a deck. Create a fleeting Mark of the Isles, Spirit Journey, or Crumble. So Mark of the Isles, grant an ally 2/2 an ephemeral. Spirit Journey, kill an ally to revive it. And then Crumble, slow, kill an ally to kill a unit or landmark. This is nice, giving you some good versatility. I wonder if they're going to discount this down with like a mana pot to make it 0 cost. All right, so it looks like we do have spiderlings in the base kit. Since they're in the starting deck, I'm guessing they're going to give them some decent items in the champion level up. So that'll be nice if the spiderlings don't just start out as a 1/1. So we have Elise, the 2 cost, 2/3 with fearsome, attack, summon a attacking spiderling. And then if you have 3 or more spiders, you level up. When she levels up, other spiderlings have Challenger and Fearsome, and it looks like when she attacks, she no longer summons that spiderling. There's actually going to be a choice. You might not want to level up Elise, because then she'll stop summoning the spiderlings. And her level up doesn't give her too much. Like, yes, you get some more attack, but Challenger, you could potentially give your units this Challenger in other ways from the star power, so we'll have to see how this plays out. So we have Spellslinger, Noxus, 2 cost, play, stun an enemy, or if it's already stunned, deal 2 to it instead. Little sad that we're seeing this card just because it's also a card in the anti deck, but should give you some good versatility with being able to stun an opponent. Arachnoid Sentry, again, stun an enemy. 2 ways to stun, nice to see that. Frenzied Skitterer, 3 cost, Fearsome, 3/2. When summoned, give spider allies 1 power and enemies -1 power this round. This is especially good because if you drop enemies to below the 3 power threshold, they can no longer block because of the Fearsome. So this could be pretty strong. It would probably be too strong, but I would love if they put something like Shadow Totems. When you played this, it summoned 2 of them, but that would probably be too overpowered. Shrieking Spinner, attack, give spider allies 2 power this round, 2/4. Arachnoid Host, when I'm summoned, grant other spider allies 2 power. So again, just tons of ways to buff up all of your spider units. And then Brood Awakening, summon 3 spiderlings, then grant spider allies 1 power. So pretty much the whole deck is built on either stunning or buffing up your units. She's probably going to be a very early game monster. Let's take a look at the level ups. So to start out, Arachnoid Sentry gets the Entrancing Lure. So strike, draw 1. Pretty good upgrade, giving you a bit of draw. Sad that it's on one of your more expensive cards. Next we get the Shrieking Spinner, gets the Serrated Dirk, so Fearsome. I guess that makes sense. It's one of your few cards that don't or doesn't have Fearsome. Brood Awakening gets the Battle Banner. Give allies 1/1 this round, and it's already granting spider allies 1 power, so really going to help you fill out your board and then buff the entire board up. Oh, here it is, what we guessed. The Shadow Isles Tellstone gets the Mana Potion. So now the first version of the card isn't going to cost anything. Spiderling gets Chain Vest, so tough, giving you a decent amount of survivability. Arachnoid Host, Savage Shield, nice, so it's going to go to a 6/6. It is pretty expensive though, hopefully they reduce that down here. Frenzied Skitterer gets Spirit Stone. This is what we wanted. No, not quite what we wanted. When I'm summoned, give other spider allies 1 power and enemies -1 this round. So it's not automatically summoning one, but it's going to put another one in your hand. So you can play another copy of it if you have the mana. Not quite as good, but still very strong. Pretty awesome to see that. Spellslinger gets Phage, so it goes to a 3/3. That's going to be a pretty strong unit for 2 cost. Nice. Arachnoid Host also gets Speed Wrap, so quick attack. Frenzied Skitterer gets Studded Leather, so it goes to a 4/3. All right, I'm a little conflicted on the upgrades. A lot of nice little bonuses here and there. But the one problem is your deck is actually really expensive. Like, you actually have one of the most expensive decks in the game, which is surprising. I thought that they were going to try to reduce down some of these cards to be 4 or under. Like, a lot of decks, you only have like one card that is 5 cost or higher. And often when you level up, you get an upgrade that further reduces that down. The fact that we have 3 cards that are 4 and higher is pretty crazy. I'm guessing they're trying to make it so you're not as dominant early. So they're definitely going with a interesting approach with it. I do like that for the cards, most of these are ones we haven't seen before in other decks. And the couple that we have seen, like the Spellslinger and I think the Arachnoid Sentry, I think this is in LeBlanc, they're obviously both spider cards, they both fit in here, and they will let you have some decent control. So yeah, definitely a different approach than I was thinking they were going to go with. I'm not really going to say any judgments on whether it's good or bad at the moment. It's not like a deck like Nasus where you can immediately look at it and be like, okay, this is terrible. Definitely different from what I was thinking, but we'll test it out and see how it does. For relics, I think there's going to be a lot of really interesting choices. So for one, these common relics that give you keywords are actually going to be very strong once you get Elise to your 3rd star power, because then when Elise attacking, she's giving all her other spider allies her keywords. So really looking through and seeing what do you want. If you gave her Challenger, it's like she's already leveled up, giving all of her units Challenger. Quick attack wouldn't be bad. I think actually putting Overwhelm would probably be pretty good on Elise, giving all of your spider units Overwhelm at the very start of the game. I think I'm actually going to throw on Banshee's Veil, just because giving your Elise spell shield, but then all your other units spell shield, pretty good. The Rage Blade would also be a decent pick if you just want a general setup, but I think in general, going with the keywords, especially once you hit that 3rd star power, which I don't have unlocked quite yet, the keywords are going to give you much more of a benefit than normal. So one rare relic, though, that I'm really excited for, actually there's a couple. So one, Voidborn Carapace. When any unit dies, grant me its keywords. Throwing this on Elise so she can just keep stockpiling all of these keywords, then every time you attack, you're granting all of your spiderlings also those keywords. This is a relic that I don't think I've ever used it before because I've never found a good situation to use it. This is a situation where this is going to be very nice to have. Wriggle's Lantern, I don't think it's going to necessarily give all your units that stacking impact. If it does, though, that could be pretty funny. Granted, normally Elise, you're not going to want to wait to play her, but this could be something that you might want to try out. Could be a little crazy. Gale Force, this is one that will also probably work quite well on Elise. For one, her getting recalled is not going to be that big of a deal because she's only a 2 cost. Also, her getting that recall is going to keep her from leveling up, which might be good because her non-leveled up form summons an attacking spiderling. But when she's leveled up, she no longer has that effect. But then also, once you attack, you're granting all of your spiderlings that scout. So that's going to be absolutely very, very strong. This is definitely something you're going to want to play with. Corrupted Star Fragment. This is going to work out 2 different ways for Elise. One, you're able to give Elise keywords, and then she can grant those to all of your spiderlings. But then also, you're killing a unit, one of your own units. And from her 2nd star power, when one of your own unit dies, you then summon a spiderling. So this is also another one that's going to work out quite well for Elise. That's it though for the relics I want to highlight, as well as just this Elise first impressions. I'm going to be also releasing a Elise leveling video today of testing her out in game, seeing how she is. And then I will be grinding her up and probably getting a Elise versus Aurelion Sol out later this week, as well as likely a Elise guide if I can grind her up fast enough. So if you want to see all that content, definitely like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a great day.